Power.
Stability.
Comfort.
The all-new 2024 Squares. The patented toe box helps give you more balance, stability and energy transfer, giving you better performance. And these great-looking new Squares are lighter and more comfortable. To find out more, go to squares.com now.
Best golf shoes I've worn. Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm going to go after the PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy.
But you know what is easy? Getting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Getting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're going to need all the easy you can get.
Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
And welcome to the 10th tee here on Big's Golf Talk. Amanda leaves after the 9th hole, and the wisest man in golf joins us on the 10th tee with his Make Golf Fun Again hat. All right, where'd you get that, Greg?
I met this guy at the Live tournament, of all places. His hat was signed by Mr. Trump, so he was pretty proud of that. But he actually had a tournament down at Bonita Springs down in Southwest Florida. Mm-hmm. It was called Fins and Birdies, I believe, and where fishermen go out and fish to create a score, and then they go play golf in a handicap type scramble for a winner.
No, wow.
Fun. Seems like a fun time. That's pretty cool.
Sounds like a good time.
Heck
$700 a person.
How much?
$700 a person.
You know what? That's not bad, though. If you think about charter fishing and all that stuff,
I agree.
Not a bad price.
You know what? I'm just going to say for $700, I'm going to put it in the bank account. I will get myself a fishy card, and I will go to the supermarket and get.
I got a hat.
You got a hat. I'm going to get me some fresh fish.
Yeah, but you're discounting or taking away the experience, Bill.
I've experienced it too much, Biggs.
Hey, look at it this way. I have hung over the side of the boat being very sick. I know that part of it. I've never gotten sick on a golf course.
Winners! That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, speaking about Live Golf, well, Live Golf is down under in Australia for their Adelaide event. The Saudi-backed league is back for its first tournament since the 13 of its players took on Augusta National in the Masters. Well, following the Masters, one major rumor surrounded Live Golf and Rory McIlroy. It was alleged that he received an $850 million offer to join the PGA Tour's rival league. McIlroy squashed that gossip and clearly stated he would be on the PGA Tour until the end of his career. Well, ahead of this Live Golf event, CEO Greg Norman delved into the McIlroy situation and offered his side of the story. What is that side of the story? There wasn't one comment about Liv. Liv never put an offer to him, Norman said, calling the rumors typical white noise. While Norman claimed Liv never sent an offer to the four-time major winner, the Shark refused to say they would never propose one. Quotes, if Rory was willing to sit down and have a conversation with us, would we be happy to sit down with him? 100%. No different than any other player who would be interested in coming on and playing with us, he said. It's understanding the facts about what Liv represents and what Liv can deliver on a global basis. It's up to you to determine it. Norman then shifted to the conversations to point out some alleged misconceptions. He claimed to have sat down with top PGA Tour player in his home to walk through the live golf process. He said, "Well, that's not what we're told in the locker room," Norman explained. "He made the decision. He told me 2 days later and said, I've decided to stay where I'm at. I said, happy days. You made a decision on fact. If you're happier over here, fine, stay here. Your your door is always open. If you want to come back and you have a conversation with us, happy to do that. Whether or not the world will ever know what player was hinted at will be up to the player or Norman to release that information. Regardless, the McIlroy to live golf rumor appears to have been completely fabricated. McIlroy once again pledged his loyalty to PGA Tour. News then surfaced that he would find himself back in the PGA Tour Policy Board. The Northern Irishman will have to be voted back in, but McIlroy's return to a leadership role appears evident. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
You want to go first, wise man?
Yeah, then you can kind of follow up with some thoughts after that as well.
Yeah.
The interesting news that came out this week is the fact that the PGA Tour, with that funding program they did with the Boston Sports Group, Rory gets $50 million of that money.
We talked about that right on the fifth hole there in our opening.
So the interesting part is that $750 million, I think, of the money, it says goes to the top 36 players. Well, that's only like $2 million a person if you figure that. So if you figure Rory got 50 and Tiger got 100,
yeah.
How much is the little guys at 36 on the tour schedule? And the interesting part is, okay, he gets $50 million, but Scotty Scheffler's caddy has made more money than Rory this year on the tour. How important is that?
That's what we were talking about earlier. I don't think it's fair either. And that's why we're probably going to see more and more people jumping ship going to live. I think popular opinion is going to switch because, one, we all know Tiger doesn't need $100 million. He doesn't need any more. He has more money than the next 5 generations are going to use, and he still is making more money. You got all these guys on the bottom. I understand the top 36, but we have 70 golfers a field and stuff like that. Those guys that are trying really, really hard to stay on there and stay loyal. That's why LIV is sucking up college players, amateur players, and everybody in between. Are we going to see the greats come to the tour, or are we going to see them go to LIV? Are we going to have to watch these up-and-coming college players and new amateurs that 15-year-old that's going to play an amateur event? What happens if LIV decides they want to make him a deal? You got to look at it. I'm looking at it. I
guess the reality check is that they talk, Tiger got 100 million, yep. Rory got 50 million, Jordan Spieth got 30 million. I don't know that he's made a cut this year, has he? I'm not sure. And Justin Thomas got 30 million. What did Monahan get?
Yeah.
That's something they're not talking about. And his healthy salary, then get a bonus on top of that because they're structuring deals. How much? Where's this money all been? I mean, that's the reality check.
How all of a sudden they got all this money for this PIF program, but before LIV was created, there's nothing to be able to expand on.
Exactly. But then as soon as LIV came in and threatened them.
This is why you can't tell me there's more money at the LPGA either, that you can't pay these ladies more than what they're getting for these tournaments.
Well, the money's coming, but it's not coming as fast as it should. We also, a couple of months back, we thought LIV was going to make that run for the women's tour. But now they created that other league that they have for the women. That there's a lot of money involved outside of the LPGA and the PGA. And I'm looking at, the likes of Lexi Thompson playing, with people of all ages and everything else, with the opportunity, even if she doesn't win, to make millions of dollars.
Can you imagine, though, So Nelly Quarter wins 5 tournaments in a row.
Mm-hmm.
How much did she win?
And that's what I'm saying.
She's
I don't
won
think
5.
she made $10 million.
No, because the last one was under 2 million. It was 1 point something.
1.2, I think.
Yeah,
The
I
whole
believe
purse
so.
was, right?
Yeah, that's where it's terrible because you
So
can't.
she has battled to win 5 in a row,
5 in a row.
and it's not even one that Scotty won
Mm-hmm.
and made more than her.
Yep. It's insane when you really think about
Well,
it. And
I mean, and look at this. Tiger Woods hasn't won a tournament this year. Rory McIlroy has definitely not won a tournament this year.
Mhm.
Last in the Masters, if you're really watching.
Yeah. Dead last. You can't get no further than what he
And
dropped down.
I'll take Justin Thomas too. Justin Thomas at his $30 million. Nelly Quarter's tearing it up on the LPGA doing it, and not even near that number.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not really fair, with a lot
And
of
she's
things
got
that
the
go on.
following on Instagram, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's what I'm
Probably
saying.
more than Justin Thomas.
If in the beginning I was dead set against Liv because I was about the tradition, I was about this, I was about that, I was about this. But you know what? Give me music, give me shorts, give me $800 million. I'm happy. I don't care what anybody thinks, anybody says. I'm gonna go have a good time. I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna predict there's gonna be a lot more people that are still gonna leave because it's not fair. It wasn't fair in the beginning.
And by the way,
it's
what I
less
like
fair.
about Live Golf too
Mhm.
is yes, you have big names as captains. They the owners of these teams.
Yep.
Right. But some of these teams do have like amateur champions on the team.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they're making millions of dollars.
Yep. And I expect more will be going there. A lot more. You look at what's
why
going on.
would you want to work so hard? I mean, Scotty put a lot of time in, obviously winning 5 events.
Mhm.
Nelly put 5 events in, but
Yep.
you do that week after week after week
Yep.
after week. That's like working a job that you like, but you have so much to do. I mean, at what point do you say, wow, 14 really looks good, and
Mhm.
what, 5 or 6 times the money that I might make, I'm guaranteed?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too, because right after that Sunday that they're going to the next city, you have to play a practice round, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday's a pro-am. Thursday starts a tournament.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the best things that they did was when they got Rahm, and I liked when Rahm was talking at the Masters about his opinions, and just before it, he's onto something. He said that he wishes they would make 4-day rounds. If they do that, I can't see how that anybody with the world points and everything else, how they couldn't give it to them and say, you know what? Okay, we're going to recognize your events. Honestly, the Masters, having all of them there was a lot better than excluding them and not
it was
having it.
so pleasant to hear the announcers. Nothing negative said
No,
about
it was-
either
it was-
tournament, either tour.
It's neutral.
Right.
It's totally neutral.
I
And
thought we were
love
going to
the
hear
guys
some
like
negative
Rahm.
stuff about them wearing their live gear, trying to put it
I
in
actually
front of-
liked it. The
I did
only thing
too. I did too.
I actually thought it was cool, and I was like, I referenced Harry Potter because everybody has their set, and you're watching all these guys from Live, and they got their whatever logo
Their
is on
Their
there.
team logo.
Yeah,
That's what they live by.
You know what? Exactly. I got that Live by. But I think with the classy guys that they have coming on, and the ones that are talking logically instead of bad mouthing this one and right hook for that one, I think it's great.
Hey, listen, we're running out of time, but one thing I want to ask the Wisest Man Golf before we get in that kitchen.
Oh, is this something I have to think about?
No, but you were there, so you were covering a live event, and you have covered multiple live events.
Yes,
So
sir.
I have this question for you. In your professional opinion, as a writer and as a golf reporter, do you think each live event gets better and better and better each time you go?
Yes.
There you go. If
And that's
they're
what I
improving
agree.
each single
if
time,
you went If you went to an inaugural event at Major Ed's event, every year I go back to Major Ed event, it is better and better and better. So if it takes 14 rounds through the first year of Live to get it closer and closer and closer, it gets better and better and better.
And with the people, and they're getting better, and smarter, and they're learning what to say and what not to say.
If people would just get off of the stool that they're on, their soapbox, and realize what Live brings to, let's call it entertainment, like they do.
Yeah.
But yet getting $100 million for finishing last in the Masters and being an influence in golf, isn't that entertainment? So there's no difference except that these guys play 3 days a week, maybe 4. That could come. All they'd have to do is say, we're now playing 4 days a week. What's Rahm going to say? I don't want to do that.
He wants it. He said it. He wants that. He goes, let's do it. Let's eliminate the nonsense about, you only play 54 holes. We play 72 holes. So you're not on our level. He said, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's get on that level then.
Yeah, let's do
But
it.
I also think that the whole aspect and the whole message is you don't play as much golf, but make more money. And when Phil and these guys started the whole list,
I'm for that.
Yeah.
Work smarter, not harder. Pay me.
The only bad part of that is you're not being recognized by the world golf points.
Yeah. And I think at this point that they're proving for the most part that a lot of them deserve the spots, to be recognized because they're playing phenomenal golf.
Here's the thing. If these guys were playing on a tour that's already recognized, right?
Yep.
And they're playing similar format because they're still playing single individual golf. So you get an individual paycheck and an individual championship along with a team championship. So it's 2 formats in one, but one of those are recognized on another tour.
Yeah. I like to see the change.
In reality, the one tournament that happened this year, they had to close it down to 54 holes because they had major weather coming in and they couldn't get it complete. So they closed it off at 54 holes on the PGA Tour. Did those guys get those points?
Of course they did.
How did they adjust for those points?
And how did they establish that? Right.
So is
the same money and the same amount of points. That's how they did it.
Is the world rankings under the pressure of the PGA Tour to exclude Live?
Of course they are.
So there's your answer.
Inquiring minds want to know. All right, we got to get into the kitchen, man. I got to get out. I'm going in the kitchen.
I got the kitchen right here.
Yeah, I'm going in the kitchen. I know, I saw that. I'm going in the kitchen right now.
All right, time for us to go to the kitchen, get some pickleball talk and pickleball news here on Biggs Golf Talk, BGT TV. In the kitchen, pickleball talk coming up next on the Ignite Golf Network. We'll be right back.